Banda Homes Limited, a real estate company in Nairobi, is tonight on the spot after failing to deliver houses to buyers 2 years after starting their housing projects. The main concern is coming from buyers who bought the homes through off-plan agreements and signed contracts with Banda to have their houses built in Pinewood and Rosewood estates along the Thika Superhighway. The buyers, who each paid 3.9 million shillings for the houses, are now threatening to sue the developer. Andrew Kamau, who is the developer, is blaming the COVID-19 pandemic for the delay.
Along the streets of Nairobi, one is likely to come across such banners. The projects dubbed off plans, the allure of affordable housing making many fall heads over heels for the same. Banda Homes Limited, one of the players in the sector, have been on it, and in 2018, they rolled out this ambitious project to construct more than 1,000 housing units in various spots within Nairobi. And as is the norm, many rushed to invest in one of the projects named Pinewood Estate, located along Kenyatta Road off Thika Superhighway. But 2 years later, not a single housing unit has been handed over to the investors as promised. Lawrence Kimani then bought into the presentation made by Banda Homes, deposited 1.5 million shillings in May 2018. He would then go ahead and top it up to 3.9 million shillings, just what he needed to own his own house.
Later added 3 months to 15 months, but to date it has never been done. The whole of this year we've been trying to reach him, the owner, Andrew Kamau. Nothing has been happening.
Anthony Kariuki, another would-be home owner on the same project, now frustrated by Banda Homes Limited.
I bought a house through Banda Homes in 2018, and I completed my payments as agreed. And the delivery date was last year in April or May. But as you can see, they are far from complete.
His biggest fear now is that the project may never be completed.
We have got to the point where we are absolutely certain there will be no delivery. This is year 2.
Some of the investors made a site visit on Saturday, and to them, the project managers have perfected the art of hoodwinking them.
The fact that you see a few construction people now, the situation has been, nothing has been going on the last few months.
The quality of work they add is not what was promised to them. A casual look of the houses, leaving a lot to be desired. Musau, an investor in a similar project known as Rosewood Housing Estate, also being undertaken by Banda Homes, is equally frustrated. After paying over 4 million shillings and getting similar promises as other investors that his house would be completed within a year, he is no way near occupying it.
In anticipation, we were expecting that this project is delivered within the year 2019 at the latest. As you can see, the scale of this project is close to 100 houses, I think between 92 and 95 at the moment. From our assessment, this project is like 35 to 40% done. We have tried to ask Banda what the percentage completion of this project is. They have declined to comment.
We have to unite now and take legal action to stop this fraud and to inform the rest of the Kenyans who are being duped by advertising. Beware.
We continue.
But speaking to Citizen Television, Banda Homes director Andrew Kamau and CEO Fabian Zivo defended themselves, blaming the delays in completion of the project on COVID-19 pandemic and other reasons.
It is true that we have experienced delays. And of course, because of various reasons, late payments from clients and of course a slowdown in work. We also underestimated the amount of work that was going to put into that project. We have had a bit of delays, which we are working very hard to finish up on. So I would urge our clients to kindly try and understand that due to everything that is ongoing, we might have some further delays. We are actually pushing all our projects on the remaining works by a further 6 months, 6 to 8 months.
The real estate industry, like with all industries on the global landscape, have been significantly affected by the COVID-19 crisis that has hit the world this 2020.
COVID-19 was declared a pandemic in the country in March 2020, almost a year after Banda Homes were to deliver their promise. This raising concerns about the honesty of the project developers.
This has occurred now. We have contracts for last year, as you say, when it wasn't there. Not unless now they come up with a different reason or the many other aspects that I've given you, then they can't use COVID-19 now. COVID-19 will only apply for contracts that are running during this particular period of time.
Both Kamau and Zivo declined to meet the disgruntled investors yesterday, even though they were all on site at the same time. Communication between them and the developers on social media platform WhatsApp too has been frosty.
We have tried to be diplomatic before we came to media and asked management to meet us last Thursday, but our committee found their gates shut, their doors shut.
He was telling us that people have not paid. We later on made a side group because he has been removing whoever was questioning it. He used to remove him, me being one. We later formed a members group and we started talking to each other. We later found nobody has got a debt with him. That's what he's been saying.
Advocate Gashie Mwanza has dealt with litigation matters for 15 years now and says such deals where buyers have been shortchanged by developers is as a result of the mad rush by Kenyans to own homes at reasonable prices.
The developers will always say very good words that would entice Kenyans. And not just Kenyans, but ideally a person who wants to buy property is a person who is a bit gullible. And when you're being told that this property will be offered at a very cheap price, there is that allure of rushing to want to take it. Now the problem we have is that most of these developers come with some standard contracts already drawn that favors the developer.
He says developers usually use loopholes to add clauses in the contracts which the buyers either never read or understand, and in this case, to shortchange unsuspecting buyers.
These contracts are usually done in a manner that leaves the buyer exposed, with some very, very oppressive clauses that are only favorable to the developer. Like I've seen contracts done, not necessarily by Banda, but I've seen one by Banda, I can say it, that exempts the developer from any liability in the event that they do not deliver on time. Correct, yes. So you've seen a contract that says we shall be able to hand over by 30th of September 2019. But there is a clause inside the contract that says in the event that the developer is unable to deliver, they will be exempt from liability.
I asked him what next then for such buyers.
You can go to court to either enforce the contract, which we call specific performance, to say this is what you promised, I want you to deliver as you promised. If the buyer, on the other hand, is certain that these people are incapable of delivering, then there's no need of going to court for specific performance. What you do is to declare the contract as breached by the other side. And the moment you consider them as having been breached, now you go and seek for your recovery of your money.
All other sectors in the industry and the global economy has been affected by this. We will try to catch up once this issue is over. We will continue engaging them individually and collectively to try have very amicable resolutions on this.
Social distancing norms and of course other self-care practices that have been put in place by the government of Kenya have meant that we have had to experience a slowdown in terms of both staffing and of course the movement of man and materials to and from these sites.
In the meantime, the investors are now calling for legislation to protect them and other would-be victims of such proposals. Nimrod Tabu, Citizen TV.